Hey folks, it's May 14th, 2020. The markets are closed right now. And I mentioned that there was an ABC correction that I was expecting last week into Friday. And we got inversion and and basically the correction played out a couple of days out. Um, so this kind of stuff can happen while doing cycle studies. And I just wanted to explain that why I really didn't have any other choice but to call the way I called the market this week. Intraday, when we were lurking around 2866, I mentioned that this ABC correction finishes at 2761 and it can't go lower than that. And that's precisely what we got. We got 2766. Uh, so from here, the dailies are up. And at some point next week, so I'm thinking May 22nd, the dailies actually become strongly up. We're gonna have another attempt at the highs into maybe Sunday night, or could be even close tomorrow. And then we get another correction into early next week before there is a massive upsurge, is what I'm expecting, into minimum 3150. You cross that level and you go to 3244. You cross 3244, you can go to all-time highs by mid-June. But without getting ahead of ourselves, let's look at what really is going on. So the Hearst 360 is kind of the final barrier the market needs to climb before it can become impulsive at a higher degree. And on the SSG, that's kind of reflected by the primary wave being on sell. And the relevance of 2911 is pretty apparent from here. So both 45 over 90 is bullishly poised. There is no disruption to that. We're simply correcting because the market is facing headwinds from the 360. And as you can see, this was the third test at 360, and we successfully recovered out from there. Also, I mentioned in the chat that today's close will be higher than both 5.3 and 5.13. The CITs that I posted yesterday, the spiral CITs, they are based on daily closes. So they don't entail all of the action that might occur intraday. So from short-term trading point of view, it can be treacherous, especially when you're faced with larger CITs such as May 13th. The 513 closing CIT can mean the low occurs precisely at the close through next morning's open into 10:10 a.m. And that's exactly what we got. So just keep that in mind. Moving over, if we look at the VIX monthly cycles, we basically were retesting the midline on the monthlies. And obviously, in hindsight, we can see why there had to be an ABC because we were already bumping along the upper line on the monthly VIX cycles. We successfully managed to close above it. This is roughly 2852, and we managed to close above that even on the daily time frame. By close, we actually were perched upon above 2852.94. Today, the midline is 2842, and that should be supported after hours today. So using 2819.48 or 2842 on cash, -8 on the ES, one can acquire additional longs if desired. The market is now moving up as per cycles, and I'll show that to you. before we look at the cycles, on the Nichian, we got a bullish close. The dailies recovered, and this condition hopefully should recover, clear out by tomorrow. And obviously, the key is going to be if coming into the week, like I said, the week was bullish and was going to be a low to high week. So we'll see how this gets handled tomorrow. Most likely we close above the monthly pivot. The hourlies are on buy over here, and the next barrier is 2877.51. Once we cross that, higher degrees waves take over, and there's nothing stopping the market from reaching 2917.52. On the cycles, we had a down cycle into Wednesday, and if you see, I started calling the bottom over here, and then on the dailies I had a bottom in the evening, and then from here I really can't see why there should be any additional down cycle, but still we got it. So such anomalistic stuff will happen even in future, and that's why stops are required. But at this point, the cycles, this is kind of the 1 p.m. PMCIT that I had mentioned will go into the close. 1 p.m. ended up going into the close. If you look at it, over here, that's central time, 11:50, so 12:50, and we went into the close. So now we are firmly perched above the blue daily cycles line, which is moving up. And I would say it moves up into early AM and then gives back into the open and then inwards higher again. I am setting a target of anywhere from 2890 on the ES through 2940. Anything is possible, with an ideal hit around 2910 on the ES. So that's the update, and maintain your stops, trail, profit whenever you want, and good luck.